viewers, welcome back. I've been asked by some of you to give my opinion on certain bullets that I've used in my career or that I've got experience with, specifically 375 and larger calibers on either plains game or dangerous game. I can only comment and give my opinion on my own experience, on what I've used myself or that I've seen used more times than often. And to start off, my 375, I've been using a 270 grain Barnes X bullet now for the past, I would say, 25 years. And the reason why I opted for the 270 grain bullet in my 375 is it gives me the best of both worlds. I must admit, I use my 375 90% of the time on plains game. And although I've used it on big game like elephant, buffalo, hippo and rhino, I prefer to use something bigger for that. On the cats, 375 is king, and there the 270 grain Barnes X, I can't fault it in any way. Lion and leopard is food for that. Now, to get back, why I don't use the 300 grain Barnes X is because as a monolithic bullet, it is quite a bit longer than your conventional lead core bullet, and a 270 grain bullet stabilizes perfectly out of my rifle. I get 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch groupings every day of the week in any circumstances, any weather patterns. So I can't fault it. It gives me a good speed and a good trajectory. My own personal hand load, I get out of a 270 grain Barnes X, I get 2,680 feet a second, which is more than plenty for me. And I have tried the 250 grain TSXs. They do not stabilize that well out of my barrel. Not that there's anything fault with the bullet, but it's my gun loves the 270 grain. A lot of my clients have used my rifle with that bullet configuration. As I said, we've shot many buffalo with it, lots of hippo. We have shot elephant with it, but not brain shots on elephant. It was all body shots. But on hippo, brain shot, it whistles through it. There's no problem whatsoever. I have used the 300 grains, and personally on animals, I cannot see a difference in penetration between the 300 and the 270 grain heads. I've used quite a few other heads as well, of different makes, but inevitably I get back to the Barnes because it works out of my rifle and I can't get any failures out of it. Solid wise, I'm very fond of the normal PMP, which is a South African product, the 286 grain monolithic. And my load for that is exactly the same as for the 270 grain Barnes. They fly to the exact same point of impact, and therefore I can change from solids to softs, no problems, and I don't need to readjust the scope. Heavy 4 caliber bullets like the 380 grainers from Rhino, the 350 grainers, I've had some experience with them, but I cannot honestly say that I see a difference in the reaction of the animal or on the outcome of a hunt when using a heavy 4 caliber bullet. And therefore I stick to what works. I've done a lot of buffalo hunts where people came out with a 375 with heavy 4 caliber bullets, and the one disadvantage that I've seen and experienced is that when it gets to a longer shot, let's say an animal is wounded, or for that matter it's a combination hunt where someone hunts a buffalo and plains game. Then on your longer shots, your heavy for caliber bullets, there needs to be some math involved. And people often struggle to find the exact mark where they should place the bullet with those heavy for caliber bullets. There are some theory behind it on penetration and stopping power. I don't really believe that, not in my experience that I've seen. A standard 300 grain or 270 grain bullet does the job perfectly. It is always a caliber that will rather over penetrate than under penetrate, so you don't need more penetration out of a 375. Now the 400 calibers, I've got experience in the 416s, the Remington Magnum as well as the Rigby's. There I've used the Barnes solids, the Bandit solids of 400 grain with zero problems whatsoever. I cannot really say that I've recovered any of them. They whistle through any animal, be it a rhino, hippo or elephant. And in fact, I do not have a recovered 400 grain solid from a 416 that I can show to you. What I use there on plains game is the Swift A-frames. Because my personal rifle is a Rem mag, I've used the Barnes 400 grain monolithics, the Barnes X's, but I have found that the Swift A-frame gives me a bit better performance and it's easier to reload for me. Now there's quite a few other bullets that are perfect, and forgive me if I can't recall all of them off of my head, but obviously your Woodleys are good, especially the newer generation Woodleys. Then there's quite a few other bullets out there, newer manufacturers or new types of bullets. I like to stick to the ones that are proven, because hunting dangerous game in Africa is not really a place to test new stuff. So the Swift A-frame for me, fantastic bullet. My 416 is my all-round caliber. I use it for dangerous game and for plains game. So I stick to what works. Again, heavy for caliber bullets, I don't use them because I don't see a need for it. A 400 grain 416 bullet traveling at 2,350 feet a second goes through anything. It stops everything and it penetrates through anything, so I don't really need more. And then up to the bigger calibers, my 458 Win Mag. That's interesting. Everybody shoots a 500 grain bullet at 2,000, 2,050, sometimes 2,100 feet a second if you've got the longer barrels like your CZs or Brunos. I've opted for the 450 grain bullets because again I get enough penetration, adequate penetration on anything, and I get a little bit more reach. The 500 grain heads of whatever make will not give you a further than 100-yard shot with confidence. It's made as a stopping round. I want my 458 to be a bit more than that. Some people will opt to go to the 458 lot and still use the 500 grain heads. No problem with that whatsoever. I decided not to go the lot route. I just reduced 50 grains in my bullet head and I get the same results. And yes, there's theory about muzzle energy. We've covered that in a previous video. I'm not going to go into that. A 450 grain bullet at 2,100 feet a second does the exact same thing to a buffalo than a 500 grain bullet at the same speed from a 458 lot. I cannot honestly say again that I see a different reaction to the animal. It kills it if the bullet is placed in the right spot and a quality bullet is used. My personal choice is Steward Bullets. It's a local South African company. Old Uncle Ken Stewart, who was a very well-known big game hunter up in the Kenya days, he started the Steward Bullet Company, and when he passed away, a good friend of mine, Hansie Minnar, took over the company, and he manufactures very well constructed bonded bullets in either soft or solid configuration. And because Hansie is a friend of mine, he will do it for anybody for that matter. He constructs the bullets the way I want them. He puts a cannelier if I want one, and he puts it in the place where I want it to be for my personal load. And that's not every day you get that from a bullet manufacturer. Now Hansie takes a lot of mathematics and pains to give a quality bullet. I'm very happy with all my large caliber bullets that come from Hansie. I use it in my double rifle and in my 458. I do use a few of them in my 416. When I use soft nose bullets, when I run out of Swift A-frames, I'll definitely use the Steward bullets. Other bullets, I've used the Hornady DGXs and DGSs. They work well, although the solids, I've seen some of them fishtail a bit. I've seen some of them bend on especially large dangerous game when heavy bone was encountered. I can't really say that it influenced the outcome of the hunt, but it concerns me. The DGXs used on plains game, they worked well. I do not believe in a non-bonded bullet for African use. I don't like them. I've got my reasons for that. I believe that why should you not spend good money on quality premium grade bonded bullets when you come out to Africa? It's an expensive trip. Why save on ammo? Get the best you can get and use that. There are a lot of bullet manufacturers out there that I will definitely not encourage, but it would not be professional for me to call them out here. If anybody wants to know what not to bring, they can send me a personal email. My email address is on the end of every video. But the good stuff, to answer the gentleman's question, that I've got experience with, obviously Barnes, Swift A-frame, trophy bonded. I love those bullets. Then your good Woodleys, no problem with them whatsoever. Any of those, they are freely available. Stick to them. Then on the custom side, I support my friend Hansie from Steward Bullets, because he makes a very well constructed bullet, and he gives you personal attention to it. And further than that, I cannot really comment on other types of bullets because I don't have a lot of experience with them. I do not count 5 or 6 animals shot with a specific type of bullet experience. It might be luck, it might be bad luck on any side of it. So guys, any more questions, please comment on the video. I will do my best to answer them. Send me an email if you want, and I'll engage. So hunt responsibly, hunt ethically. Thank you.